Yeah, up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet the great Dr. Kelly Schultz. She's a very respected plastic surgeon here in North Texas, and we're going to talk about being forever young. Next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
All right, my daughter Sarah, the apple of my eye, is in her mid-30s, but I remember when she was in her young 20s, she furrowed her brow and she said, "Daddy, I think I need Botox." So I describe that as the forever young generation. I mean, when I was growing up, we watched the Waltons, we watched Sanford and Son, you would see older people on TV. I challenge you, I can't even think of shows where you see older people anymore. Everybody wants to be forever young. To talk about that today, a very respected plastic surgeon here in North Texas, Dr. Kelly Schultz. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Very cool.
Appreciate it.
All right, what piqued your curiosity about plastic surgery? When did you know you wanted to be a plastic surgeon?
It wasn't until sometime in medical school, actually. I knew from a very young age that I wanted to be involved in medicine, and then later on I knew surgery was my calling. I wanted to have something tangible that I could offer patients and really see something concrete that I gave them. And as I went through, I just found that all other types of surgery felt a little bit impersonal and honestly algorithmic to me.
Yes.
And plastic surgery, there's a lot of room for expression and creativity, and I think the relationships that you develop with patients when you can really affect their confidence just go so much deeper.
And we were talking before the show that some women feel more comfortable with a female plastic surgeon than a male plastic surgeon. Do you do a lot of female surgeries?
I would say 99% of my patients are female. And I think in plastic surgery in general, well over half, probably over 75% of patients are female. Another reason I wanted to go into plastic surgery and specifically open my own practice in the first place is I just wanted to create the space that I would want as a patient. And I think I would feel most comfortable speaking to another woman, woman to woman. I'm at a similar stage in my life to a lot of these patients, and I just think I can relate to them, even some of the small things that maybe they think aren't important or that someone else might just brush off.
And Kelly, one of the things we were talking about before the show is that you're honest with your patients. So if they're a cup and they want to go up to a D cup, you're going to talk them out of this.
Yeah, and I would say my aesthetic is very natural anyway. So I love small volume augmentation, breast lifts, breast reductions, anything that I think will age well and will make the patient feel more confident without being a trend or something like that. So yeah, I think if our aesthetics are very misaligned, or I feel like something is genuinely unsafe or something is really not necessary for a patient, I'll always tell them. I would never recommend something that I wouldn't get done myself or recommend to a family member of mine. So I hope that comes across to my patients as well.
And I love that because obviously you could make some money.
Yeah.
You sold them what they're asking for, but that's not who you are.
No, and the reality is there are so many plastic surgeons or, cosmetic surgeons these days. It's a big thing with people who really don't have any formal plastic surgery training or marketing themselves as cosmetic surgeons and doing a lot of the same procedures. So, the reality is if I don't offer something to someone, they can find someone who will. And I think that's the scary thing about what the industry is turning into. But for that reason, I'll always only offer, things that I really stand by.
All right, then let's talk about the difference between a plastic surgeon and a cosmetic surgeon.
So a plastic surgeon is someone who went to an accredited residency training program specifically in plastic and reconstructive surgery. So there are a couple ways to do that. You could either do a general surgery residency for a full 5 to 7 years with an additional plastic surgery residency on top of that, which is 3 years, or you can do an integrated program like I did, where straight out of medical school, you're doing 6 years of training in plastic and reconstructive surgery.
Sure.
And I think why that distinction is important is because a lot of our training is reconstructive. So, you know, dealing with reconstruction after car accidents, other traumas, cancer resections, things like that. But with all of that, you really learn how to take care of patients properly, I think, and deal with complications, treat things safely. Whereas someone who didn't really go through all of that is missing some of that context and that knowledge. And I think for that reason, we see a lot of their complications, honestly. They're not really able to take care of it themselves. And I think you always want to go to someone who can help you when you're, you know, if you, God forbid, did have a hard time with something.
Absolutely. We're going to pull up her website, and as we scroll down the website, Dr. Crilley, what are some of the procedures that you're seeing are the most popular these days?
So for me personally, I think breast augmentation is always going to be number one. I'm really loving this trend that we're having now toward, again, more natural results, smaller volume augmentations, things like that. There are other adjuncts we can add, like an internal bra is something that's really hot online right now. But really, it just means extra support to help your result age better over time. Breast reductions and breast lifts, I also love seeing a ton of those. And tummy tucks, especially with the rise of GLP-1 medications like Ozempic and things like that. You know, patients are able to get rid of some of that stubborn weight that they hadn't been able to for years. And so as a result, we're seeing lots of lost skin, maybe, or loose skin, breast deflation, things like that, that they're wanting to correct.
Wow. Okay, Kelly, what does it feel like when the patient comes back to you and says, "You changed my life"?
It's the best feeling in the whole world. That's why we do this, or that's why I do it at least. And, you know, sometimes that's as early as the first day after surgery, which is just so meaningful and life-changing for people.
Yes. We found you create a bunch of content. I found one video that I really love. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Happy National Botox Day. Let's talk about it. Botox is a neuromodulator that works the neuromuscular junction to temporarily paralyze muscles. It's currently FDA approved for the treatment of fine lines and wrinkles in the glabellar region, forehead, around the eyes, or the crow's feet, and in the neck, or the platysma muscle. However, it's been used in many different areas very safely for years. Other areas that I really like to use Botox in my practice include in the DAO, or muscles in the face, just to give a little bit of lift to the outer corners of the mouth, in the nose or nasalis muscle, in the upper lip for a little lip flip or extra upper lip show, and in the masseter for patients with clenching, grinding, or who just want a little slimming of the lower third of the face. So Botox is a very diverse treatment, and it's really great for patients who are maybe wanting to dip their toe into aesthetic procedures. Let me know if you have any questions.
I love it. Let's talk about the importance of going to somebody who's qualified, because I think even nail salons can do Botox these days.
It's crazy. Anyone can pick up a license, I think, really over the weekend and inject Botox, or really anything, which is the scary part. There are so many products now that, you know, unqualified people are injecting. So if you go somewhere that's not, I would even say like a certified med spa with a real medical director, a plastic surgeon's office, or a dermatologist, you have no idea what they could be injecting in your face. And that's a scary thing.
And we see these pictures online where somebody like has a droopy eye because of Botox mishap. So it's really important to make sure that the person doing it knows what they're doing.
100%. And beyond safety, I think you want to go to someone who really understands the anatomy of the face or whatever region you're having injected. For me, personally, I'm a little biased, but I obviously think that, you know, as plastic surgeons, we've seen the muscles in the face, we know how everything works, and so I know exactly what I'm injecting when I am. And that's who I would want doing my injections. So I do my own sometimes. But
All right, let's talk about the artistry, because some plastic surgeons, I'm sure, probably see themselves as a factory worker, and we're just going to get through as many procedures as we can.
Yeah.
And I think you see yourself as an artist.
Definitely. I hope that most plastic surgeons, or at least, you know, the reputable ones, see themselves as artists, because it really is. I think when you have your before and after galleries online, patients are really getting a glimpse into your aesthetic and what you think is beautiful. And I think that's reflected even in your marketing, your social media, your office, the way you present yourself. And so I think it's important to find someone that's aligned with you on kind of what you think is beautiful.
Outstanding. Okay, Dr. Crilley, we have about a minute left. Look into the camera on the left and maybe talk to that person who needs to reach out to you.
Perfect. Well, I would love to see you. Again, I specialize in aesthetic, breast and body surgery, always doing things safely. I'm always honest about what I can offer and achieve, and I would love to see you.
Outstanding. We're going to end with her website, which is kellyschultzmd.com. The great Dr. Kelly Schultz. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so
You
much.
bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.